Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of So Tell Us Time. We're so excited to be here with you guys each and every week. For our new listeners, maybe first-time listeners, we come at you every single Tuesday with new episodes talking about all the things that have to do with business. And we are in a multi-series episode right now where you're going to want to go back and listen to the previous couple episodes. But go ahead and listen to this episode and then go back and listen to the previous episodes. So today we're actually talking about missed leads, social media, and SMS mistakes. So let's dive in and get this one started.
All right. So today, again, we're going to be talking about the, missing leads, and we're going to focus on social media and text messages or SMS. And look, there's a lot of reasons why businesses miss communication through social media and SMS. We're going to go over a couple of those today. One of the biggest ones is delayed or no response, right? Meaning that many businesses don't have a structured system in place for checking their DMs on Instagram, their comments, and even sometimes their phone, right? Their text messages, because you're so busy doing work, right? Getting the work done that you just don't stop and take a look at the messages that are coming in. And you might say to yourself, like, well, text messages, oh, come on, I pay attention to those all the time. But I want you to really think about it. Like when you get text messages in, especially on your business phone, how quick are you to get back to them? I was talking to a business owner just yesterday, actually, and he's a one-man show, appliance repair, running all around the Phoenix Valley. And he told me that he has to take basically a break when he eats lunch in the middle of the day. And while he's eating lunch is when he goes and looks at all of his text messages and responds to them. And it's when he listens to his voicemails of the calls he missed and then tries to get back to people in that 1 hour window before he's on to the next appointment. And it just blew my mind, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like if you're only getting to your messages once a day, then man, that is going to kill your business. And he actually said this was the best option he had, because what he used to do is he used to wait till he got done with work at the end of the day. And then when he got home, he'd spend an hour or so going through, voicemails and things like that. But again, he realized very quickly that he couldn't call the people back at that point. Right. But yeah, it's just crazy. So I want you to think about your business in that.
Well, Troy, that actually reminds me of the old 4-hour work week guy. Remember that? The 4-hour work week. And then he went on to do the 4-hour workout and the 4-hour, I don't know, all sorts of 4-hour this themed things. But the 4-hour work week, I remember I listened to that book and I swear it almost ruined me because it was like, I even set up a voicemail that's like, I only check, voicemails every other Tuesday and I get back to people on, and it was like, I totally went through what he was talking about. And I was like, after using it for just a couple of days, I was like, this does not work. And especially you talking about that client that would only check during lunch. I mean, that just reminds me of that, of like, I only check my emails once a day at lunchtime and I'll try to get back to you. It doesn't work. Not in an instant world that we're living in right now.
Yeah. Not when your competitors will immediately respond. Right. Mm-hmm. So, because here's the thing. Consumers expect fast responses.
Yep.
Especially in industries where competition is high, right? So if you're the only guy in your industry, in your city, you can probably get away with it. But if you have one competitor and they're better at it, at, getting back to people than you are, then you're probably going to be, going out of business. So, the other reason why businesses miss communication is overwhelming volume and spam filtering issues, right? So business owners are flooded with messages, making it hard to filter out and actually find the genuine leads. And without a system in place, those real opportunities basically get buried under spam and low quality leads. And then what ends up happening is, you get frustrated, right? Mm-hmm. So, and that leads us to number 3, which is basically with that lack of integration, you start getting notification fatigue, right? So messages coming in from multiple channels, Facebook, Instagram, your My Business listing, your text messages, WhatsApp, if you're doing that, right? All these messages start coming in And because they're coming in so many places and they're not being filtered, business owners may not check them all consistently, right? Leading to those missed inquiries. I want you to think about social media. Like, as a business owner, when's the last time you looked at any messages coming in from Facebook or Instagram, right? And we're just going to talk about this a little bit, because I know even for us, right, we have a lot of followers on Instagram. We have a lot of followers through Facebook and through YouTube and things like that. We get lots of notifications and people communicating with us. And it can get pretty easy to just be like, I don't have time to take care of that, right? And you're just giving up all of those good leads because you're just getting there's too much communication coming in, and you're having to try and bounce from one place to the other to check all these different things, and see where the real leads are at. So that we understand why businesses struggle in this area. So now let's talk about, how you can use, AI to basically help your business capture those leads and get more leads out of those channels, rather than just giving up on those channels completely. So one of the best things you can do, and we've talked about this in some of our previous episodes, is AI-powered chatbots and automated responses are a great way to keep up on those communications. So, for example, right, an AI can send instant responses to potential leads, keeping them engaged until you actually have a chance to follow up with them, right? Or even totally take care of the process. I was actually this morning, I woke up at 5 a.m., hopped out of bed, turned my phone on, and I immediately got a notification of our AI receptionist web chat on our website. Someone had chatted in the middle of the night when all of my team, was sleeping. And the AI chat, it went through, it qualified the lead, it made sure that, they were the right person. And then it went ahead and sent out a link for them to schedule on the calendar of one of our sales guys. Then they scheduled, and then the system automatically followed up with them. And the sales guys woke up to a demo, right? A hot lead. And all of that happened because AI was there in the middle of the night to actually communicate with that person, right? If we didn't have that there, that person would have basically looked at the website, maybe filled out a form, hopefully, but if they didn't fill out the form, we might have lost them forever, right? So, and this conversation went back and forth like 8 different things that they talked about, right?
So amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So,
I mean, here's the thing is Troy and I mean, we created the AI receptionist, right? The Sotellus AI receptionist. We're utilizing it for ourselves. We're utilizing it for clients. And I mean, we're the ones training them and everything, and we're still blown away. I go in there and I look at these conversations and I look at the leads that it's generating. I mean, it still blows me away every single day when I'm checking out what my AI receptionist is doing for me. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other thing it can do is you can do AI-driven leads prioritization and alerts, right? So you can utilize AI to take a look at those incoming messages and prioritize what are your high value leads and which ones are not. Meaning, like, for example, the AI can recognize for us, it's asking, for us, like last night, it asked them like, hey, what are you looking for? Oh, I want to learn more about your products. Okay. This is a higher lead. This is, this is not it basically determined. This is not customer support. This is someone who wants to learn more about one of our products. So it automatically moved that lead up a little bit higher. And then it went, oh, okay, great. Hey, can I get your name and, your phone number and email, and then they provided that. So now, boom, now that's an even higher prioritized lead because they were willing to give their information. Then it answered a bunch of questions for him, and it realized, okay, this person is very interested. I'm going to give them a link to book on the calendar, right? So it was able to literally prioritize the leads coming in. And that's not the only lead that it took care of last night. There was one that came in really funny, someone looking for Robux, like trying to get free Robux for that Roblox game. And it very quickly determined, this is not a good lead. And it, it responded and basically pushed that one away and didn't send that one to our sales guy because we don't want our salespeople, talking to people about Robux. So we had another one come in that was someone looking to get a credit card. Well, that's not our company. So it very quickly determined that, let them know that that's not what we do, and, sent them on their way. So prioritizing those leads and taking care of those situations is a great way to save you and your employees time.
And I've heard so many people talk about whether it's text messages or their social media or web chat on their website, spam coming in, right? Junk. And that's what I love, is that the AI receptionist is able to weed that out. It takes care of that, especially because we're talking about social media. I mean, a ton of our messages that come in on social media is junk. It's crap. It's fake accounts being like, we're a Facebook account manager and you're getting shut down because you violated our whatever. And it's not. It's spam. It's trying to, hack into your account, and hopefully that you'll click on a link and give them your login information. Anyways, the chat does beautifully with these things, and the communication, AI communication, it's awesome to see it handle those things. And then, kind of just like you said, push the ones off to the side that are spam, and then bring the ones over that need to be addressed. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that you can do with it too is, integrations across AI integration across all of your platforms, meaning that you could literally use AI tools to centralize your messages from multiple platforms into one place, so that you're not having to remember to go log into Facebook. What messages did I have in there? Go into my Instagram. What DMs did I get over there?
Mm-hmm.
Go to my Google business listing. Did anyone message through there? You don't have to do that. You can centralize all of that in one place and not have to waste that time, which basically means that you're going to be able to respond faster and more efficiently without having to log in and out of multiple apps.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trevor talked about, again, the filtering. Like, AI is a great way to filter, right? It can detect patterns in spam messages. It can filter those out. It does a great job of, coming up with unqualified leads versus real potential customers based on what they say in their messaging. So that's really important as well. And we kind of talked about that, how last night it did a great job throwing the Robux person out and bringing in the person that wants to schedule a demo and talk with one of our salespeople. Yeah. So those are just three, kind of different ways that you can utilize AI to help manage that social media. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, I don't really generate much from social media, right? That social media is not a big part of my business, and that's okay, right? It's okay if it's not a big part of your business, but every once in a while, there may be a lead coming in through social media that you are never on there, you are never checking, and that's one lead that's lost because nobody's monitoring your messaging.
The new generation coming up, these kids that literally have never known a life without a cell phone. Think about, or social media. Like, you may not get very many messages now, but if you don't get on the bandwagon, you're going to miss out on leads.
Yeah. Think about it. This younger generation, they do not talk on the phone. They do not call each other.
No.
They send text messages.
Yes.
And now they're even getting to the point where text messaging, they're messaging each other through the social media sites, right? Probably to avoid their parents seeing what they're messaging, right? But that's where it's going. And again, all of these social media sites out there, what are they trying to do? They're trying to keep these generations in their platforms 24/7. So by bringing that messaging into the platform, it's a great way for them to control it, which means that's how they're going to eventually want to communicate with you. So even if it's just monitoring your social media and you only get a couple messages a month, every single, message or lead that you don't miss is another opportunity to close another sale. So it's worth having those integrations in place so that you can capture every single lead coming in. Anything you want to go over, Trevor, before we hit the homework?
Real quick, just like, it's even creeping into us, like, especially if your clientele is focused on women, for instance, right? Or maybe like at home, like if you're going to whittle your avatar all the way down to, like, let's just say, and I'm just giving this as an example, an at-home mom, a stay-at-home mom, right? Just the other day, it was funny. My wife, I said to her, ran into some friends from at the gym, and said, hey, we should get together and everything. And she was like, her and her husband were there. And she said, yeah, have Chelsea reach out to me. And I was like, okay, great. So I told Chelsea, and I says, reach out to him and everything. And then like a day later, I said, hey, so did you text her? And she goes, oh yeah, I DM'd her. I DM'd her on Instagram. And I was like, huh? I said, why didn't you just text her? And she's like, oh, we talk on Instagram. We DM each other. And I'm like, okay, so weird, so weird for me. But yet, my wife, and it doesn't just have to be the stay at home. Now, remember, my wife was a stay at home mom for like almost 20 years, but now she went back and she's got her cosmetology license and she's working at a salon and whatever. So it doesn't matter. Like these people, right, even of our age now, are getting used to, especially the ones that adopt it, right? The ones that adopt it, they're getting used to using social media for a platform of communication, which is crazy. So, and it was funny. She DM'd back and we made plans, which is just hilarious to me, but it's still a good example of what we're talking about here, that even if you're like, my people aren't on there, well, you know what? They will be, because your people are getting older and the younger ones are coming up and they are on there. So, all right, let's jump into homework.
Well, and real quick, odds are that your people are on there, but you're just not on there. So they're not choosing to communicate with you through that channel, even though they might prefer it.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. All right. So let's jump into the homework today. Step 1, review your business's social media channels and your SMS response times. Like, check out your social media sites and look at your text messages and how quickly are you getting back to people. Step 2 is identify areas where you are missing messages or taking too long to reply. And then step 3 would be to look at AI tools, like, for instance, the Sotellus AI receptionist that can help you automate those responses. And then also help you with the filtering of like, is this a lead or is this junk or is this just a tire kicker, right? Because we don't want to waste time with tire kickers either. We want people who are ready to purchase, right? Take action. And then final step is number 4, which is create a plan to improve your response times and manage those leads that are inevitably going to be coming in once you are getting back to people in a reasonable time. So that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. Anything else?
Trevor, I got one more thing I'm going to throw out there.
Hey,
because I just thought of it as I was looking at step 1, and we talked about those response times. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when people message through like Facebook, when they go to message your business, it will tell them what your average response time is. And I'm going to tell you what, if someone is going in there and they're like, oh, let me hit up this business about their services, and it says average response time 48 hours, they're not even going to message you.
I've seen one where it says average response time 5 days. And I'm like, that's crazy. Why would I send a message in? They're going to get back to me in 5 days. Forget it. All right, guys. Well, we love you. We appreciate you. As always, we have so much fun each week being here with you. And we will check you guys out on the next episode of Sotellus Time.